this. Hold on, you guys. Good evening. I'll try to fix it. Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Give a few minutes to kind of let my laptop do its thing and connect properly. So I started not to come on because I really wanted to kind of gear up for some other things. And I was going to do a replay for tonight for Teacher Talk Tuesday, right? Um, but then my phone was going off and I'm getting, notifications about Ms. Betsy DeVos as being the new Secretary of Education. And I was a little perplexed, but not surprised. If you know me personally, you know I say a lot of things around education and where the support and lack of support kind of stems from with it, right? For if this is your first time ever seeing me, ever joining, let me just introduce myself really briefly. I'm Yanni Robinson. I am the lead at the Educator Suite, also known as the Education Messiah, for all my insight and input. I am also the CEO and founder of a literacy program called Reading for Smiles that's based here in New York City, and been doing that for years. But I'm also an author, and I wrote the book Teacher Affirmations as well as Student Affirmations, and I'm an educational data analyst. So I'm always looking at data and looking at things to kind of um, push my students to their best academic possibilities. Well, anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight to the point because I don't want to take up everyone's time on this here Tuesday night. But since we all just got dealt this hand in the educational arena, let's talk about it. First of all, let's go here with this fact. Something in education is always changing. So if you ask any educator who's been in the game for at least 5 years or more, they will tell you something is always changing in our industry. There's always some new demand or some new thing we need to focus on or some new item to add to our bucket list, point blank. Whether it's for professional development, teaching our students, some new rule at the school, whatever. So we are actually used to being thrown curveballs within education. So I want to get that clear. Secondly, if you know me at all or have seen any of my videos or heard any of my previous podcasts over the last year or so, then you know I will always challenge the policies that we have brought before us and who's making these decisions for education, right? It's always somebody who's never been in the game. They don't even know what the school looks like from the last time they were in school or if they had kids in school, right? They are so far removed from the classroom. You know, they taught for 20 or 25 years and then they haven't been in the room ever since then. Flash forward is 10, 15, 20 years later, but they get to make some decisions. So they're not really connected to who is being in the room on the day to day. And I'm okay with voicing that. The other part to this is that no one will ever publicly say they are anti-education. Let me say that again. No one will ever say that they are publicly against education. What they will do is show you through their actions. Tonight would be one of those actions. Now, I don't have anything against the lady. I don't really know her. You know, it's not personal for me in that type of way where I just come out and start talking about people. But if we're going to look at what the policies and stuff that's going to be in place or what this person really represents, then we have to question ourselves. I don't know if you saw her her speak to Congress and everybody as they're asking her questions, and she knew nothing. Let me say it again. Nothing about the field. Now, that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I would say someone is not against publicly saying education, but their actions are against it. Why would you let somebody be in charge of the free world with no experience whatsoever? Yes, she's donated money to private Christian schools, and maybe her kids went to private schools, but that doesn't say that you have the know-how to deal with everything that we do today. Like, are you abreast of Common Core? Are you abreast of the teacher modifications and things that's happening? Are you aware about what's happening in special ed? Are you aware of teacher I can't even speak straight because I'm so confused and baffled by all of this. Teacher observations or anything like that? Like, what do you know? What are you bringing to the table? But again, no one in this country will ever say that they are against education. They will never say that. I mean, it's just morally and ethically wrong to say something like that. But what we will say is that, oh, we're going to put somebody in place who never worked in education, has no experience, yada, yada, yada. That's how you demise education in this country. Point blank. It's not even the fact that she doesn't have a degree in education. Like, I can get over that. I don't think that that's the end all be all to the situation. But what is the end all be all to the situation is she has no clue about the field. Who does that? Why are my tax dollars paying her? Why are your tax dollars paying her? What's going on with this situation? And it's who's going to be training her? That's another bigger question. So anyway, moving on from that. So I'm also a part of one of the oldest civil rights groups, which is the NAACP. And we had a mission on our ground to basically make sure we contact our Congress people, our congressional leaders, to let them know what we did not stand for with all of these choosings. And Miss Betsy was one of them. And Schumer, at first, I didn't know which way he was going to go, but thank goodness he got on board and was like, no, this is not a right fit. And he voted the right way. So one good thing about being connected is you get to know who voted for what. So let's talk about the states that voted her in. Alabama, Sullivan from Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Gardner from out of Colorado, Rubio from out of Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Young from out of Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Blunt from Missouri, Daines from Montana, Nebraska, North Carolina, Hovind from North Dakota, Portman from Ohio, Oklahoma as a whole, Toomey in Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Capito from out of West Virginia, Johnson from Wisconsin, and Wyoming. And then, of course, Pence. That, ladies and gentlemen, is everyone who supported this person coming in as a Secretary of Education. That is very interesting. What was really interesting is to see these states that are racially diverse still vote this lady in. Now, let me see. I had something else pulled up because I wanted to talk about these things that she said she was for, right? So they say 5 things that you should know about DeVos' faith. She has roots in the Christian Reform tradition. She supports school vouchers, the use of public money to send children to private schools, including religious schools. She has financially supported Christian schools. She wants to advance God's kingdom through education, and then oh Lord, I can't even speak. Evangelical support for DeVos as education secretary was actually mixed up. While she has been a polarizing figure in Michigan for her support of school vouchers and charter schools, which, again, charter, public, private, independent, religious, at the end of the day, I feel like this: educate the children, period. All of these different bubbles of where it gets done, I've never been biased towards any of them. I feel like whatever can get the job done and put your child on the right track is where they should go. I don't get into the political scene about that. Where I do waver is when we have these type of decisions going on that really can use our personal touch um and support on this, because like this here is just like, what? And that just shows that leadership in Congress did not care that she didn't have experience. We've seen that before here in New York City. I won't say who and when because I don't even want to go down that whole path. But nonetheless, this ain't the first time that we've seen this, at least if you're in New York City. And what happened was is that that person ended up stepping down because they couldn't handle the job and whatever other reasons that are floating out there in the world. But nonetheless, they didn't last. So we got a new leader as chancellor. Boop. I don't know. I mean, what is everybody else's thoughts? I know those of my friends who are educators are questioning everything and they're like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" But here's my advice, because I like to always end on a happy note. One, no one knows our industry like we know our industry. So if there's any trainings, workshops, or anything that can help better your craft and better how you deliver on instruction, preparation of your students, etc., go hard with it. Go hard with it. Expand your mind, shift your mindset, because there's always going to be some new changes that comes in our arena. Changes that we like, dislike, feel indifferent about. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to are the students and the families we serve from year to year in our classroom. We've had multiple leaders who were not the best at what they do, or knowledgeable in some extent, which says a lot about other things, but I'm not going to go there because we're ending on a positive note. And that just means we have to buckle down harder in our communities and in who we serve. We have to look at our children and really say, what do we want to see for you in the future? We have to have our children get a chance to understand what it is that they want to do and see for themselves in their own future. We have to connect and bond with our families. We have to connect and bond with each other. We have to collaborate. We have to look at how can we handle what we have coming with grace and ease and as much clarity as possible. And that's really staying connected into what's going on, and really just being connected to your students. At the end of the day, they are the ones that matter, and the work that you do for them is forever priceless. So while I know everyone is confused, upset, perplexed over this, it doesn't stop us. It won't stop us, and it won't hinder us from doing the great work that we do every single day. The fact that this country has chosen someone who is perhaps maybe not so knowledgeable in the field may change some things around legislation, but right now, nothing is um, nothing's going to stop you from the work you have to do when we get up tomorrow morning. Our children are going to be there. Our parents will be dropping them off. I say we pay it close and be vigilant to everything that's going on and stay active. If you're an educator and you're not a part of any community activist groups or stuff like that, I think that you should be. Whether you're for her or against her, I just feel like those are things that everyone should be a member of something, um, so that the things that you stand for in the world and your voice um, is joined together with others that stand for it. And then also, my approach to everything else is when even when everybody is not feeling your tune of music, you stand strong and stand firm. So that is my wrap up on Miss Devos. I know I had some viewers here, but I don't know how to see the live chat. um, but I am looking forward to anything that's stated in the educator forum that I have. If you're not a member and want to become one, go to the educatorsuite.com. Again, that's the educatorsuite.com and join the network. It's a host of us that are educators in the field who love what we do and become a sounding board for others in the field and offer suggestions and stuff like that. We are a supporting network. Um, that's what I created that group to be, to have a voice so that other educators can have a voice, because we're always, 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 always um, like the spoke about group, but the unheard group. So be vigilant, be active, be all you can be, like the army. No, but be great for the people that you serve. Be great for your families. Be great for your community, because we don't know what is going to happen next. Um, but we can definitely band together and stay strong and be supportive and offer suggestions around what we do in our field, as those of us who are in the field can bestly put it. So I hope that these last words were encouraging for you to band together, meet up with other educators in your area, talk about some things, look at stuff. Some people should run for office if they're in education, just so we can make sure we're represented in these education committees. I'm just saying. And really think about that. Think about those states that I just listed that said they supported someone with no experience to lead us. Very interesting. To me, this is not even about party alignment. Those states are all over the place, um, Republican and Democrat alike. They have the matter of fact. I'm before I know I said I want to leave on a good note, but a state like Mississippi that is struggling, they were number one last year for being the worst state with education, and voted for somebody who doesn't have experience in education. Like, what was happening there? What were they thinking? Maybe there's something new that's going to come to the table that's saying so profound, like some plan that's in place that's just so profound that it's going to change and make America great again. No, seriously, because I don't even understand it. Now that I thought about it, South Carolina is not a state that's at the top of the list for doing the best academically either. And that's very interesting. Alabama, what? Where? Who voted for those people in the Senate and in the Congress? We need to have a session on that, but that's a different video. I'll leave my activist hat uh to the side real quick. Let me just stay in educator mode. Think about it, people. Band together as educators. Be there for each other. Be open. Join different educational groups that's in social media. There's a bunch. Like I said, mine is the Educator Suite is there. Go ahead, join. You can catch me there. The other page is called the Educator Suite. So on Facebook, Educator Suite on Instagram, like you can find me. So they're very easy to be found, and it can link you to other groups where people are doing amazing things or just at least conversating about what they want to plan to do. Well, anyway, I'm going to sign off now. But I hope that again you become vigilant and active. Be active. We need you. We need you to be active. We need every educator to come together and really think about what is going on and how we can better serve our students. I can't wait to put on an educator retreat. I've been trying to figure this stuff out for a little minute now, and something where we learn and we also relax, right? Because things can be very tense in the school world where we learn and we also get a chance to relax. But that is all. And I said that about 3 times already, so now I'm really leaving. Have a wonderful evening. Sorry. Stay committed, stay focused, stay together. Good night. Signing off.